For 6 years as a teacher in a small high school, my calendar was blessedly light with internal meetings. We typically only had a couple of formal meetings a year, as most of my work was done independently in the classroom. When I later managed survey interviewers for Gallup, our approach to meetings was even more rigorous. If my team was in a meeting, they weren't on the phones conducting surveys, which was a core revenue producing activity. This instilled in me an appreciation for the direct financial and productivity cost of every single meeting. However, after moving into higher education, particularly within the management of a rural community college, my experience shifted dramatically. I now spend the vast majority of my time in various committee meetings, planning sessions, and check ins. Like me, you probably sit through more meetings than you need and have left a few thinking, that could have been an email. While it's easy to dismiss meetings as an unavoidable time sink, I've learned that when you effectively plan and manage your team gatherings, they cease to be a burden and instead become the most powerful vehicle for moving your rural community college team and your mission forward. Let's start with the fundamental question: why do we meet? Meetings are critical for synchronous communication, especially for issues too complex or nuanced for asynchronous tools like email or chat. They are essential for first, team building and cohesion that provides a regular human touch point that strengthens relationships and trust. Second, for strategic planning and alignment that allows a team to define the future, set long term goals, and ensures the whole team is moving in the same direction. Third, for project planning and coordination. This can help a team break down complex projects, assign tasks, identify dependencies, and establish timelines. Fourth, meetings can be used for problem solving decision making. This allows teams to facilitate real time brainstorming, debate, and a consensus necessary to tackle immediate challenges. Fifth, the cadence of accountability meeting in the 40X system allows the team to regularly review performance, celebrate successes, and commit to specific actions for the coming week. Next, meetings can be for information sharing and training, which includes disseminating vital information, offering clarification, and teaching new skills. You want to be careful for this could have been an email meeting, so make sure the information sharing is a little more nuanced or complex where there might be questions or clarification needed. Finally, meetings are for conflict resolution, which provides a structure, neutral space to discuss and resolve interpersonal or operational conflicts. Meetings aren't about talking, they're about accelerating action and reinforcing culture. Before we get into types of meetings and thinking about meeting cadence, the key to having any type of success with group meetings is to make sure there is psychological safety. Psychological safety is the shared belief that a team is safe for interpersonal risk taking, allowing members to speak up, challenge the status quo, and admit errors without fear of humiliation or retribution. This climate is crucial for high performing teams, especially in our community colleges. As you lead, there are three questions you need to consider. First, what do you model? As a manager, you must model vulnerability by openly admitting your own mistakes or asking for help. This is the quickest way to show your team that taking risks and being imperfect is acceptable, not punishable. The second question is, how do you respond to mistakes? You must respond to mistakes with a learning mindset. When a process fails, resist the urge to assign blame and instead ask, what did we learn and what system needs to change? Finally, ask how you get participation. You must actively solicit and listen to input by ensuring every voice, from the newest faculty member to the most tenured staff, has a chance to speak without fear of humiliation, confirming you've heard them, and following up on their concerns to build lasting trust. There's a lot on this slide, but it's important to think about the issues you're dealing with as a manager. A major cause of meeting frustration is mixing wildly different objectives into a single meeting. You need different types of meetings for different parts of your business. Let's simplify these into three categories. First, strategic meetings. These focus on the long term future and the big picture. They ask, where are we going? What's our 5 year vision? These are often less frequent, longer, and require deep, thoughtful discussion. Second are tactical meetings. These focus on short to midterm priorities and team operations. Your tactical tasks should take your strategic plans and, through project management, implement new strategies to become improved operations. Third are operational meetings or check ins. These focus on day to day execution. They ask, what did you accomplish yesterday? What will you do today? What issues are blocking you? These are often weekly and are fast, precise, and highly action oriented. The key takeaway: don't try to solve a 5 year strategic problem and a day to day operational issue in the same hour. The meeting types should be distinct. Patrick Lencioni, in Death by Meeting, argues that meetings are only boring when they lack contextual drama and clarity. He suggests replacing the typical one size fits all weekly staff meeting with 4 distinct meeting types. Lencioni's model is designed to provide clarity on the purpose and format of each gathering. First is the daily check in, which lasts 5 to 10 minutes in a quick stand up style. The focus is on what's happening today and what are our roadblocks. No big problem solving, just reporting. This is purely operational. Second is the weekly tactical meeting. This should be 45 to 90 minutes long. It's a structured meeting to review metrics, quickly report on activities, and then spend the majority of the time discussing and solving 3 to 5 key issues that are impacting the team. This helps combine tactical and operational activities. Third is the monthly strategic meeting, which is a 2 to 4 hour single topic deep dive session. The focus is on a specific critical issue like recruitment strategy or technology need to move your department forward that needs in depth analysis and a decision. This is on the strategic side. Finally, is the quarterly offsite review, which could last 1 to 2 days. It's focused on reviewing the big picture, team development, organizational health, and long term planning. The goal is rejuvenation, alignment, and a deep look at the mission. This is purely strategic. Lencioni's 4 meeting types provide fantastic clarity, but in my own experience of the resource constrained world of rural community college, that frequency is often unrealistic. In addition, that model is usually geared towards the top leadership body in an organization. We usually find the power of the one on one supervision and coaching meeting structure to fill much of our daily and operational void in our departments. Therefore, my adapted team models of meetings respects Lencioni's core wisdom, separating the operational, tactical, and strategic, but adjusts the frequency to better fit our reality. First is the weekly operational meeting. This is a check-in which can be 15 to 30 minutes. We combine Lencioni's daily and weekly operational needs into a single focus section. The goal here is predictability and accountability. Borrowing from the 40X framework, each person should quickly cover 3 things: what they accomplished last week, what they commit to doing this next week, and what roadblocks are they facing. This is purely about reporting and identifying bottlenecks. We don't solve problems here. That focus on quick reporting ensures we get clarity and alignment without draining the clock. Second is the once or twice a month tactical team meeting for 60 to 90 minutes. This is your main forum for cross functional coordination and problem solving. This is the tactical meeting where you ensure everyone is aligned on larger upcoming events like registration or a major deadline and collective process improvement. We use the bulk of this time to have a deep dive discussion on 1 or 2 key issues that are truly impacting the entire team's ability to succeed. It's about making collective adjustments to keep making improvements. Third is the annual strategic retreat, which usually lasts a full day. Instead of a quarterly offsite, most community college teams find an annual strategic retreat to be more feasible and impactful, which is often held during the slightly quieter summer months. This is the main time we should focus on the big picture, reviewing the entire year's previous performance, addressing organizational health, and making strategic decisions that will steer the team's operation for the coming year. It's about rejuvenation, alignment, and long term planning. You can review your department's key performance indicators and analyze if the work you're doing is making the difference you want to make. The most important lesson from Lencioni remains: your meetings are boring when they lack clarity. As a leader, you must ensure you have distinct time set aside for operational check ins, tactical problem solving, and strategic thinking. This clarity, combined with the focused work of your one on one meetings, is the true path to effective leadership. Also, every organization and department is different, so you need to figure out what works for you and your team. Reverting to your status quo is what your department has always done because that's the way you've done it. Not acceptable. There's a lot of meeting tips, which I encourage you to search for, but I've gathered 6 of my favorite tips to help make your meetings better. You should have the worksheet that goes with this lesson for you to self evaluate on how you conduct your meetings. First, an agenda is mandatory. Never start a meeting without a pre published agenda. Send a concise agenda, complete with clear time allocations for each topic, at least 24 hours in advance. This allows people to prepare mentally and arrive ready to engage. Second, you should have a relentless focus. Once the meeting starts, the facilitator, that's you, must become the time cop and the focus cop. If a discussion runs off track, or if a topic needs more time than planned, you must politely but firmly table it. Move the topic to your issues list for the tactical meeting, or schedule a future dedicated strategy session, or schedule a one-on-one follow-up. Protect the time you have together. Third, pre-work is required. Your team meeting time is a collective resource. Don't waste group time on individual catch-up. If there's pre-work required, for example, like reading a report, reviewing data, or drafting a proposal, make the requirements clear and hold attendees accountable. If someone hasn't done the pre-work, they may need to listen only or step out until the next item. I've heard of some teams who use the first 15 minutes of the meeting to do the pre-work to make sure everyone's on the same page. Fourth, establish ground rules. Simple ground rules set the expectations for engagement. Rules like no phones or laptops unless they are actively needed for the meeting content, or one conversation at a time, and most importantly, the rule be present. Always start the meeting by quickly reviewing the top 1 or 2 rules to reinforce commitment. Fifth, use the power of questions. Good meetings are driven by good questions, not monologues. As a leader, resist the urge to simply tell the team what to do. Instead, use inquiry to drive discussion and surface risks. Ask questions like, what are the 3 biggest risks in this plan? Or what data would help us make a decision right now? Also, ask specific individual questions to bring your deep thinkers into the conversation. As the leader, your opinion carries more weight, and if you share your opinion too early, you may prevent more robust discussion. Finally, end with a summary and action plan. The meeting is not over until the action is clear. Use the final 5 minutes to summarize all key decisions made, then define who's going to do what and by when. Every meeting must end with a clear, documented call to action list to ensure accountability and forward momentum. A best practice is to email this to the team after the meeting to ensure everyone is on the same page. In addition to structuring your meetings effectively, it's critical to have consistent communication with your team. That daily team check-in I mentioned, it can be a virtual discussion board, like a Teams channel. I've also found a weekly update email to the team incredibly useful to keep everyone up to date with things going on with me at the college. I always try to make it a little fun by saving items I might send throughout the week and compiling them into one comprehensive email at the beginning of the week. It makes the communication more impactful, and sure, it doesn't get lost in daily noise. Finally, ensuring your meetings are well put together is paramount, especially if you have multiple campuses, leading to more virtual team meetings. Virtual meetings can be inherently more difficult to keep engaging. To help people get engaged and connected, I always try and play music before the meeting starts, add an icebreaker question in the chat to get people interacting, and require everyone to be on camera once the meeting starts. This leads to a final crucial point. You must define your communication mediums. As a leader, you dictate what constitutes an email within the team, what might fit in a team or Slack channel, what should be saved for a face-to-face conversation, and finally, what information everybody should share in a saved folder. By providing clear guidance on how to communicate using different mediums, you keep communication consistent, organized, and effective across the team. The quality of your meetings dictates the quality of your work. Your challenge? Take a moment to evaluate the meetings you currently attend or lead. First, take inventory. List all the recurring meetings and identify their actual purpose. Is it strategic, tactical, operational? Next, identify, based on what you've learned today, one change you want to make. Maybe it'll shorten your daily check ins. Perhaps you'll dedicate your weekly meeting to be purely tactical. Use the worksheets that follow this video to make that change concrete. Stop simply having meetings and start leading them.